Guess what? We got a
We're
Stanley Cup
back.
champion. We're back. Welcome into Great North Sports.
I'm already dropping shit.
Already dropping. Look, we are 30 seconds into this broadcast. Dubs has dropped something. But we're here.
Dropped
We're
my
live.
gum.
We're here. We're live. We got a couple of fun things to talk about. A couple of miserable things to talk about. Stanley Cup champion. Rafi Devers getting traded.
Boy, has it been a bad week to be a fan of Boston sports.
It's not been good at all. It's been pretty bad all around.
Wrote my piece in the newsletter
Great
last Friday.
Piece. Great piece.
Took a long time to write. I shortened it. It was a lot longer, and I was like, no, I need to find a way to condense this because people aren't going to read this. But like, I wasn't super happy. My tone in that was pretty bleak for most of it. But by the end, I even convinced myself. I was like, you know what? No, we're gonna be just fine because that's the Kool-Aid that I drink on a daily basis with all of these teams. But fuck, has this last few days since I wrote that not made me feel any sort of hope.
It's not fun at all. We're going to get into Devers because I want to give you the floor to kind of say that has been insane. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't end our 2025 NHL season coverage until we get to draft time and start talking about rebuilds and who's coming where. The Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup in six games. It sucks. I'm happy for Brad Marchand and only Brad Marchand.
Only the rat.
Everybody else can suck a lemon. Everyone else. I hate.
Funny how much Brad Marchand's getting love now that he's not on the Bruins too. By the way,
can we talk about that for a second? So there's three guys that are getting a ton of different reactions from this final. So we had Brad. Sorry, I keep peaking like crazy, and I'm trying to adjust my volume, and it's insane. We have Brad. We have Bennett, and we have Corey Perry. Now, all three of those guys play the same style.
Sam Bennett, a rat and a worm walk into a bar.
Same style of hockey. Would you disagree with that?
No, same style.
Like it's the same style. Bennett's a little more skilled. Corey Perry's like 100 years old. It's not his fault he's not as skilled anymore. And Brad is getting up there in age. He when he was playing on the Bruins, it clearly looked like he had lost a step or two, just skating, but still had the hands and still had the heart and the drive. It's still your guy, but it's not. You could tell he's getting older. All three of those guys played pivotal roles on their teams, and what do we see? Nothing but hate and vitriol for Corey Perry, but somehow Sam Bennett is okay. That guy's a dog. Sam Bennett's a dog. I saw that every day.
There's no part of Twitter I could go to where there's at least my algorithm where I'm getting any Sam Bennett love. People fucking hate that guy in my Twitter sphere.
They should.
Yeah,
but he was the MVP. I'm gutted. Brad.
I heard the least about Corey Perry. I thought this was going in a different direction for a minute.
I thought Corey Perry deserved a lot more flowers than he got. He contributed to that offense way more.
Brad deserved the
Brad was the MVP
too.
Brad was the Conn Smythe. I don't understand the Bennett thing. Bennett got
just because he had the most goals in the playoffs. They're like, oh, he's got to be the MVP.
Yeah, that's kind of like saying the guy with the most home runs is the MVP.
Voting was wicked close, though.
I felt that my one and my two was Bobrovsky and Marchand. I thought Marchand was the one. I thought Bobrovsky was the two. And then you could have told me it was Bennett or Reinhart or any of those other guys. Although Reinhart had 4 goals in one game, he did nothing else in the rest of the series. Like he showed up the last 2 games.
Yeah, Reinhart was a Game 6 guy.
I'm disappointed for the Oilers. I'm disappointed for McDavid, but Florida outplayed them 3 of the 6 games. The one game that I would say was fluke. The Marchand overtime winner was a very prototypical greasy playoff goal, and that's just puck luck, right? Like
Edmonton was that game 3?
Yeah, Game 3. Edmonton got no. They had zero puck luck, none. Like no lucky
That was a game they
bounces.
really tried to play like the Panthers, though. They
Yes.
were like really gunning physically, and
Yep.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I know the way it ended was a fluky goal, but if they kept up playing that style against the Panthers, I think it still would have ended the same way.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. I think they needed that game. They needed game 5, and they no showed, and that was
Yeah,
embarrassing. That was the
100%.
one. That was the one
The
that
second they
set it
no
off.
showed because the Panthers choked in game 4. They
Yes.
were up what 3 goals, and they ended up giving it away, or at least
Yeah, it
two
was three
goals.
nothing.
Yeah, 3-0. I can remember if it was 3-1 or 3-0.
No, it's three
But
nothing.
they when we talked on the show last week, you were like, I don't think the series is over. I was on the opposite. The second that they choked that away, I was like, oh fuck,
Oh, they're
Armchair's
done.
right.
Yeah.
I was like, Armchair's right. They're gonna choke this away. Edmonton's gonna win game 5, and then all of a sudden they have 2 games to close out the Panthers, and they just, like you said, they fucking no-showed game
Yeah,
5 at home.
they were ghosts.
And that was the second it was over, because there's no chance the Panthers were going to lose 2 closeout games like that.
The storyline that I'm most frustrated reading is that it was somehow Stuart Skinner's fault that Edmonton lost. I don't believe that for a second. The defense hung them out to dry on a regular basis. I
How many
can't tell
years in
you
a
how
row
many
have we said
times
how bad the defense of the Edmonton Oilers has been,
I was watching
specifically in the
defenders
playoffs?
swinging sticks, like not hitting anything, just trying to hit a puck, just trying to get it out.
I like Bouchard, but you cannot look at me and tell me that he is like a shutdown. This is your number
He's
one
an offensive.
defenseman.
He's an offensive guy. He's not a shutdown
No,
guy.
no, and they don't have another guy on the team that can even
No.
pretend to be one.
And then the other story that I don't think was getting enough love is how good Bobrovsky was. I don't think people are giving him near enough credit.
Playoff Bob Rob is a different beast.
I don't think they're giving him nearly enough credit for how well he played against what is clearly a gifted offensive team. They shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, and then no Zach Hyman made it basically impossible to generate offense. Podkolzin got in a couple of times. And some of the other guys in, Skinner got in a couple of times. Like, there was no Evander Kane. Like, you got to move on from some of these guys. You got to figure out what you want to do with Connor.
You need to get the guys help, dude. Like Draisaitl and McDavid have just had the same recycled roster with different names for the last 4 or 5 years now. I know Skinner just played a great playoff stretch, but an unproven goalie most of the time, defensemen that just cannot get out of their own way, constantly turning it over in the offensive zone, just doing dumb shit. It was very evident in this series, and like I've seen that Edmonton Oilers team way too many times over the last few years with those 2 guys leading the way. You need different wingers. Stop recycling these old guys like Kane, and I know you love Corey Perry, but can we get
Corey Perry? I don't have a problem with Corey Perry if you keep him as
but why are you relying? Correct. Why are you relying on him too much? Why are you relying on Evander Kane at this stage in his career? Like
Evander Kane's got to go. He's got to go. He was an absolute liability.
You need to just build a better fucking roster.
That guy was getting penalties called against so frequently and not contributing.
And all he was doing was bitching to the refs,
not contributing on the score sheet at all. If you're not scoring goals, you can't be the guy that's causing the penalties. Can't be the way. Can't be the way. I saw
Did you see McDavid's interview at the end.
Yeah, he laid it all on the coaches, which I thought was.
He looked like it was like the Magnus Carlsen freak out where he wanted, like, you could tell how furious he was, but he wanted to be respectful so
the
bad.
Table, gave a handshake.
But McDavid's just like pacing back and forth. You can tell he just wants to get the fuck out of there. What do you think went wrong, man? Like, you fucking saw it.
Yeah.
I would not be able to keep my cool in interviews like that. Props to any guy having to do one of those post-game interviews when you just lost, because I wouldn't be able to contain my anger.
As we move away from hockey, first off, we had some breaking news right before we went to air. Trent Frederick re-signing with the Oilers for 8 years, apparently. Eight. You heard me right. Eight.
4 years, 30 million. Yeah. That's like a old school baseball contract.
Yeah. We're just going to keep you forever and not pay you a lot of money. Um, the
I don't
question,
understand it.
no, we were trying to figure it out. 8 years seems like a lot. The money is fine.
It's so many years. That's the amount of years you give to a guy that's going to be like a franchise pillar, not a third line winger,
Yeah,
fourth. I mean,
a
Trent
jam
Frederick,
guy.
obviously they got him from us. I like Trent Frederick. He's fun. He drops the mitts, but
Yeah,
3.5 million for 8 years is insane. How about 3 years and we'll see how it's going?
yeah.
Like any other normal contract. Was he such a hot commodity you couldn't dare let him hit free agency for the next 8 years?
Could
How old will he
could
be,
have 35 when he's done. He's 27 right now.
Locked up.
Locked him up. Rest of his career.
He's about to go buy a nice fancy house in Edmonton. He can just get settled.
Well, you might as well. You know what?
Not going anywhere.
He might as well.
Did you see this picture of Brad? This way, this
Other
way,
yeah.
this way.
Oh yeah.
Cigar, coffee, spiked iced tea, and a beer tucked in the elbow.
Yeah, he's having a day.
He's gonna have the shits. Is what he's gonna have.
Yeah.
That's an insane amount of liquid. Holy shit.
All right, I gotta ask you.
Your headset did not. Your microphone is too close to your beard, I think.
Are we good?
I think we are now. When you adjusted it, I think it.
Did I ruffle it?
Caught it. Yeah.
Yeah. My barber isn't free until the 26th, and I'm only going to one. I only go to one guy I trust because he lines me up nice and like.
My barber hasn't seen me in a minute.
You can't just bring this to nobody. You can't just be like, all right, I'm just going to try out some guy. No, it's not how that works. You got to have a barber. Got to have a barber. This is grown up shit. All right, I'm going to name you some names.
My barber's the Ginger Ninja. Shout out. Makes ninja noises when he cuts your hair.
I like that. I'm going to give you some names, and you tell me if they're coming back to the Panthers. Aaron Ekblad.
I don't know a lot of their contract situations off the top of my head.
He's a UFA.
Expiring.
He's a UFA. Yeah.
I would assume he probably comes back. He seems like a career Panther to me. He's been there since he got drafted.
$7.5 million. He's 30 years old. Brad Marchand.
Nah. I don't know where he's gonna go, but
you think he's going to the Leafs?
I don't know. He'll go somewhere. I don't think he stays. He got his cup.
Vitek Vanacek, the backup goalie.
Just to, backstep for a second. Yeah. I do think the Brad Marchand Florida fit is incredible for the team that they have right now.
Yeah, it is.
So if he does go back, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think so. Vitek, is that what you said?
Yeah.
The only Vitek I care about is Jason.
Nico Sturm is a $2 million, $30. Capo Kakinen is also a UFA. And of course, the one that everybody's going to be paying attention to, Sam Bennett.
Probably gone.
What's Sam Bennett get, though? What's he worth?
I mean, the Conn Smythe helps for sure. 7, 8, if I had to guess. 7, 8 AAV.
4.425. Someone's going to pay him $10 million.
Was he 27?
28, almost 29. Someone's going to pay him $10 million. Probably.
You're right. If he hits the open market, for sure.
He will.
Yeah. I think he's definitely gone.
He'd be stupid to leave.
Florida be really hard pressed to win a third one with all of those UFAs they've got coming up.
They also
they've done a good job keeping their core together. They had a couple losses between last year and this year, like Ekman Larson comes to mind, but
like
Montour.
So like those are their most expensive UFAs. They also are losing like Nate Schmidt and Matt Kierstad and Thomas Nosek. Like all of those guys played roles. They're all old veterans though. Like Nosek's 32, almost 33. Nate Schmidt is 33. He's almost 34. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I am. I'm shocked. I mean, I'd like to see how it all goes, but shout out to Jesse Puljujarvi, who's got a cup now. I didn't even realize he was on the Panthers. He was drafted by the Oilers as one of the
Oh yeah. I remember using him in chill.
He was the 4th overall pick by the Oilers in 2016, and then he signed his big contract with them,
That
and
was
then they
when they were
traded him.
just taking wingers in the first round every year. They're just
Yeah,
like, one's
yeah.
got to hit.
Uh,
You pair one up with Connor, we'll be fine. And they just keep getting centers.
uh, Florida deserved to win the cup. I still hate them, and I don't have to give them any time of day. I don't. I don't care. I don't care that they were the better team. I'm still allowed
I'll
to
always
say
hate them, and I feel gross that I even like half rooted for them, but it was strictly for Brad.
congratulations, Brad Marchand, and nobody else. Um, Boston sports had another blow. That trade, by the way, holy, that aged horribly. The Brad Marchand for the first. You're like, well, you're getting a first rounder. It's the 32nd. You get it's the
Sick.
last. It's the last pick. You get no love.
I was just thinking about that trade the other day and how I'm never gonna feel safe at the actual like time of the deadline. It's like, oh, the deadline's at 4 o'clock because we were about 10, 15 minutes past when the Brad Marchand news broke.
Yeah. Other Boston news. Speaking of awful Boston
No
news,
good, horrible,
trade
awful, bad days.
trade news. Rafael Devers dealt from the Boston Red Sox for what I can best describe as a handful of peanuts. You got
Yep.
a couple. You got a reliever and a couple of like
I had
high
a
picks.
reliever with a 6.5 ERA.
Yeah,
His name's Jordan Hicks, and we've passed on signing him in free agency several times.
yeah.
Also, we passed on Mr. Is it James? I think it's James.
Mm-hmm.
James Tibbs. So
Yep.
his last name. Yeah, James Tibbs. Passed on him last year for Braden Montgomery, who we dealt in the Crochet trade. I already had a chance to have that guy and said, nope, no thanks, we don't want him. Kyle Harrison, same deal. Andrew Bailey loves him. I don't know, man. I'm not super thrilled with the haul. Um, Bryce Eldridge was right there for the taking, which supposedly we did ask for Bryce Eldridge, and the Giants went, nah, we're not going to do that. And to which Craig Breslow went, okay, sounds good. I'll take less then. Whatever else you're offering, I'll have. This isn't for sale today, sir. Oh, well, what else do you have? I have this giant steaming pile of shit to sell you. That will be your best hitter, please. It sucks the way this played out. Obviously, going back to the spring training and the off season, even when we were courting Alex Bregman, and every reporter was telling you that that was the case, and Rafi went to management and was like, "Hey, are you guys going to sign a third baseman?" And like, no, 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 no. You don't have to worry about that other guy. I love you. We're in a committed relationship. He's just a work friend. And then they did sign Alex Bregman. They're like, don't worry. He's just going to play second base. It's totally fine. And he, not one time, not even for a second, a grounder, an interview, not one moment in time was Alex Bregman standing in the second base position. He spent every waking moment at third. Rafi was pissed, and he never let it go, which sucks. I think both parties handled it incredibly poorly. I don't think they ever expected in a million years that he was going to take it as personally as he did, and that all led up to this nonsense. I'll give you a quick timeline the rest of the way. There's obviously the giant power struggle going on between Cora and Breslow. It's been going on since he got this job that Cora wanted, and they passed.
Yep.
It's not good. Every bit of reporting on the situation is that it's the scene in Moneyball.
Yeah.
Where they go into he goes into the manager's office and they just bicker and bitch every single time they're in there. They just cannot get on the same page. This seems to be the only thing they were on the same page about the entire season was the Rafael Devers trade, which might be indicative of a couple of things. Miscommunication by the two, obviously, like I said, the Bregman thing, where Rafi was going to play after that. Breslow wanted him to play first. Cora was like, no, he's DHing. And then after the Casas injury, Breslow was like, hey, can we ask him to play first? Cora's like, I wouldn't do that. Decided to do it anyway. And then got called out promptly in the media, which led to the closed door meeting with John Henry, who got on a plane and flew to Kansas City. That's how urgent that situation was. Yeah. You had a billionaire flying, and John Henry of all people, not Sam Kennedy. John fucking Henry went out there. Obviously an ugly situation. Then the refs started tearing the cover off the ball, and I thought all was good. I thought all was forgiven. I was a little nervous after that meeting with Henry that I was like, maybe they are going to deal him,
Maybe.
and that's the end of it. But it all died down until the other night. Walmer puts in the fucking Discord, "I'm gonna be sick," and I was like, "Good God, what could this be?" Never thought it was going to be a Rafael Devers trade.
So we got Mookie Betts dealt to the Dodgers, Benintendi to the Royals,
Mm-hmm.
Steve Pearce retired, whatever. JD Martinez signed with the
Whatever, Steve
Dodgers.
Pearce. That's a World Series MVP. Thank you very much.
He played for the Blue Jays, and I loved him. He was a blue collar guy. I'm just saying he retired. It's not really something you can.
Gotcha.
Do. You can't. That's not a trade or a.
I thought you were
signing.
telling me Steve Pearce was a whatever.
No.
Respect that man.
He's a lunch pail guy. Xander Bogaerts signed with the Padres.
Doing great, by the way.
Brock Holt. Classic baseball name, Brock Holt.
What's Xander's WAR right now? Like -3.
Yeah. Signed with the Brew Crew.
Brock Holt, also a Red Sox legend.
Christian Vasquez traded to the Astros, and David Price was traded by everybody. Like, let's be honest. Once he left the Rays, he played for my team, played for your team, kind of everything. He was traded to the Dodgers as well, and then now we have Rafael Devers also traded, also to the West Coast. That is your 2018 World Series Game 5 lineup. They're
all gone.
They all gone.
Rafi was the final piece, and obviously that ended in explosives.
Hey, you want to see me trade your franchise player? Want to see me do it again?
You want to see me do it again? And hey, Roman Anthony, you better play whatever position we fucking ask you to do. You see what Christian Campbell's doing up here? It's versatility. I don't care how bad he is at any of them.
The part that got me most frustrated was listening to the press conference. When they asked him,
to the press conference.
What position are you going to play? I'll
play
wherever. Play wherever. Play wherever the boss tells me.
Again, goes back to my whole fucking point of this was avoidable. If they just communicated better with Rafi in the offseason, then we wouldn't have gotten here. The things that led up to that and how he handled it as a player, making the money he is, that is what ultimately led to the trade. Because though it was started by the Red Sox and handled poorly on both sides, you can't be bringing these guys up with somebody who's that disgruntled in the locker room. It's poisoning the well. We have these 3 super prospects coming up, and if Rafi's not on board and it's just going to keep spilling into more discontent and spread out the locker room, then maybe it was the right decision to do that. And in Breslow's press conference, he kept saying on and off the field, which the opposite of what Sam Kennedy kept saying was like strictly baseball decision. Get on the same page before you get in front of a mic. They didn't take any questions, anything for 24 plus hours, and they still weren't on the same page in the press conference. How do you let that happen? This whole thing started because of miscommunication and just being a jumbled mess at the top, and you put it on full display in that press conference.
It was embarrassing, to say the
Incredibly.
least.
I saw people on Red Sox Twitter being like, wasn't that bad? I actually handled it pretty well. I was like, did they?
No.
The first words out of Breslow's mouth were, I know this trade doesn't make us better on paper. And then not 5 minutes later, he was like, but I do think that we might be looking back on this at the end of the year. We won more games than we would have otherwise. You just told me you didn't get better. You were to just been like, you know what, we have the kids up, like this, we're going to start moving into next year and looking beyond. We just saved all this money. You're going to make different signings, which please be Alex Bregman. Just give the money to Bregman.
Well, they will.
And be done with it.
Won't they?
They better be. They should. They give him fucking $200 million over 6 years. Let's do it.
It's ugly. It's an ugly situation completely.
But these quotes from the press conference were just insane. It's not that this was the best deal that we could get, because the best deal that we could get may not necessarily be good enough to trade a player like Rafi Devers. This is the one that made sense. This is the path that we went down, and we ended up where we did. From what I've heard, they called the Blue Jays. They wanted Jose Barrios and prospects, and the Blue Jays said kick rocks. They called the Braves We wanted
Mhm.
Marcell Ozuna, Sean Murphy, and 2 pitching prospects, and the Braves said kick rocks. We called the Giants, wanted Bryce Eldridge, they said kick rocks. We went, actually no, here, you really want Rafi Devers. We don't. Um just complete jumbled mess. I don't think this ever needed to get to this point. Regardless of the hit pieces coming out about Devers in the last everything they're talking about aside from Ortiz has been the last 6 months, 4 months. Um, I I wish he handled it better, but I think the front office caused this ultimately. Um, I hope that I hope that Jordan Hicks turns into the back of the bullpen arm that they think he's going to be. I hope Harrison ends up being a top of the rotation starter like they think he's going to be. But sweeping the Yankees, winning now
That's my
4 series in a row.
that's my
The
favorite part about
timing,
this. The
Armchair.
timing
The
was
timing. It's
miserable.
stupid. He
Oh, we're
literally
just
hit a
gonna
home
go.
run that day. Like the team just started getting going, and you still have guys on the injured list. The rookies still aren't even doing exactly what you would expect. Roman's still hitting under 100 right now. Marcelo Meyer's just starting to find his swing. He's been up for about a month. Abreu's on the DL. Bregman is still hurt, and we're winning games. And you're like, you know what we should do?
Trade
We
him.
should do this now. Wait till the
I
trade
know.
deadline and
I
get
know.
more fucking offers. Just
My
the whole thing.
my whole issue with it was the timing. You just swept the Yankees. Why not just play that out, right? Why not just play it out? See how that looks. See how everything see how everything goes for the next week or two. Like, are you in position now that you're like, are you a contender, or are you just like reserving the fact that you're going to be sellers? It just seemed like such a like
Well,
misguided time to like make a blockbuster deal. And
agreed.
and the
Breslow said in the press conference that we're still going to be looking to buy at the deadline.
That's
Like we
dumb.
could be, he said we could be making a move as early as the deadline
That's dumb.
with the money that they saved. What are you going to go and get at the deadline that is a better bat than Rafi Devers? It's like there's no
Stupid.
upgrade you can make. All of the comments I see that it's like, what are you going to spend the money on? It's like, well, it's probably a guy that hits like 285, 25, 30 home runs a year, 100 RBIs, walks a lot. Like,
Would you comp that
oh,
to, I don't know,
we got
Rafi
that.
Devers? Yeah,
It
unbelievable, unbelievable.
it's tough thinking about like all this shit that's coming out and the comments from the players afterwards. Nobody called him out. Cora hasn't called him out. In fact, he's defended him a couple of times already.
That's sad.
But just it makes you a little like weary of the 10-year commitment if something like this is enough to let the relationship sour this bad.
That's a
And
management
like I
issue.
get exactly. I get the hesitance on management's part. We have all this money committed to this guy, and you're trying to create a good environment. They went out and got Bregman because Rafi isn't the leader they wanted him to be. That's why they did it. Also the glove does not help, like we got in the chat over there. But just an unfortunate situation that ultimately could have been avoided. I wish Rafi nothing but the best with the Giants. I
Uh,
love watching that guy play baseball.
he's fun to watch, which is why he was a great Red Sox to have, and now you don't have him. So,
Roman Empire, baby.
yeah.
Went yard the next day. Same place Rafi had his first. That was basically him being like, shut the fuck up. I got us.
Can
We're going
I
to be just fine.
can I tell you the craziest thing I saw today? I saw AL Rookie of the Year rankings,
I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
they
I
put Roman
commented on
Anthony
this.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Insane.
as much as I think that the guy's a stud, hasn't he played like 15 minutes in the bigs?
He's
Like,
hitting under 100. There's better rookies. There's several better rookies right
they
now.
had Jacob Wilson in one, which I was like, okay, well that makes sense. But then there was just like an unhinged list. It's like, no, this rookie plays for the Red Sox or the Yankees, so we got to give him like
Yeah, it
he's
was
good.
Jacob Wilson, Carlos Narvaez, Shane Smith, Jason Dominguez, all fair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then Roman Anthony at 5.
yeah.
It was just like one of these things is not like the other.
He's a rookie. He's
I
definitely a
said
rookie.
I commented on a guy that was not happy with the list. I
Yeah.
said, from a Sox fan, that makes no sense. Just because he's got the number one prospect next to his name and people know who he is, that's the only reason he's on there. Roman is my guy, but there's no world where he is in the Rookie of the Year race right now.
Yeah.
No shot.
Why don't we do something fun?
Are there things that are fun anymore, Armchair?
Yeah, there is.
I feel like I haven't had fun.
So,
I had fun at. No, I didn't. I lost my money. I was gonna say I had fun at the casino.
You
I
didn't. Okay, so
also, before we do this,
yeah.
Look at all these. These are census pamphlets. 4 of them that were left on my porch.
He doesn't want to do this
fucking dude. I've said no several fucking times. We've had several conversations. I've tried being nice. I've tried being polite. I'm trying to close the door, and she's like, "Wait." It's the same lady every time, and we like actually conversated like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because she kept sending these again, and I was like, "Hey, stop! We don't want to be involved." She's like, "Okay, no problem." I've still gotten 3 different packages on my doorstep with them, and today there was fucking 4 pamphlets.
You know what you do? You fill it out and you say, "Who lives here?" and you just write Chewbacca.
I'm gonna give her a fucking pamphlet that's like, no means no. When is it trespassing? Like, I'm gonna just start spitting in her general direction when she starts coming up the driveway. It's fucking insane. The first time she came was like 8 o'clock on like a Monday night. It was last year during the it's a game 7 in the NBA. I don't remember what it was. Not the Celtics, but I was like, I'm trying to watch a game right now, lady. It's fucking 8 o'clock. Go home. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest because I was downstairs screaming when I got home. I was like, this fucking lady, she won't leave me alone. It's harassment. Not legally required to participate in the census. You're allowed to say no.
Let's have fun. We do know how to
try.
Fun. Let's try to have fun. So we're in a football season lull, which means we need to find football things to talk about. And rather than debating Dak Prescott's future as a quarterback or whether the Patriots are going to win 11 or 15 games, it's probably 15. I'm just going to tell you now. We're going to do a draft. And what does that mean? We're doing it last name. So here's the rules. You have a last name. I'm going to spin the wheel, a random wheel, and it's going to give you a letter. You have to draft a player with that letter starting for their last name. So if you roll a B, you can draft Tom Brady. No first name, no first
Joe Burrow.
name. Go Joe Burrow. We're going to restrict.
Does it matter what position I do? Like, are we going in order? Or can I get like?
No. You can pick. You can try to go spicy. We're going to do quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and then one defender. Doesn't matter what
position of your choosing. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what position. Kickers are people, so they don't get picked. At the end,
the Jets just signed a fucking unit at kicker.
Is it like the Iowa meat truck, like that kind of guy?
Says he's 250 pounds.
I love that.
The thicker kicker, Harrison Mevis.
Make kickers big again. Just a chonky dude. Good luck tackling that guy.
Yeah, it says he's 250. That's generous. He's got to be 270, 285.
As long as he's got a boot, I don't think it matters. All right, we'll spin the wheel. First letter that comes. Oh, yeah, and the letters get removed as we go through. So you won't get M twice or B twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're getting removed as we go through. First spin is up. I'm not sharing the screen.
Who's first, me or you?
You are.
Okay.
You get first pick. And
my draft board's up. It's every player of all time.
A is your letter.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm thinking first names. I was like Adrian Peterson.
No. That's a tough
one to start with.
Tough first pull.
Are we getting prime?
Yes.
I've got one. I'm gonna take prime Nnamdi Asomugha.
All right.
That's my defender.
Make sure you're writing this down because we are going to put this in a poll.
Yeah.
All right. Your defender is Nnamdi Asomugha.
I did not like that letter.
That's a tough letter.
It was stuck on first names. It was like Adrian Peterson, Aaron Rodgers, AJ Green. I was Arian Foster. So do you get a different letter? Correct?
I get a different letter now. Completely different letter. I got the letter R. That's a tough pull as well. See, I don't want to go quarterback. I don't think early.
Why not? You don't want Mr. Ivermectin himself?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Because I think that I might get a better. I don't know. I might have to. Because otherwise, it's like. I mean, we're pretty limited. Yeah, we'll go with Aaron Rodgers. We'll just take the easy way out here. We'll take it's prime Aaron though. It's like it's Green Bay.
Yeah, right.
Like Green Bay Aaron. So we'll take Aaron Rodgers. And we remove R, so nobody has got to worry about R's ever again. We're spinning again.
Let's spin the wheel.
Oh, you got a G.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
G.
MVP Rich Gannon.
I mean, you can.
I gotta think for a second. Oh no! I'm taking my tight end. It's Antonio Gates. That's an easy one.
That is the pick. That's a great.
That's
pick.
An easy one.
You also could have gone.
I got the two.
Also could have went Gronkowski there, but.
Oh yeah, no shit. God, that's a fucking miss.
Antonio Gates is great. He's a Hall of Fame player. It's not like you miss.
Yeah, but it's a miss.
It's
Gronk's better. It was just that Gates was the first one in my mind. He shouldn't have even been. Gronk's my guy. Fuck, dude. Oh, I fucking sold armchair.
Oh no.
What'd you get?
I pulled I.
I is tough.
Nope, I don't think it's going to be that tough. I'm going to take Michael Irvin.
Oh, okay. That's pretty solid. That's
Prime
a good
Michael
way
Irvin.
to get out of I.
Yeah.
I probably would have settled for Bucky Irving. Second year Bucky Irving.
Yeah. All right. I has been removed. I've gotten like Aaron Rodgers and Michael Irvin. That's a pretty good duo.
Gurley would have been solid at running back.
Gurley would have been yeah. All right. I've got horrible news for you.
Is it Q?
It's Q.
Okay. That's not good at all.
It's not even a little bit good. I mean, Patrick Queen.
I already have a defense. I have Nnamdi. That's the first one that came to my mind, too. Can I pivot and do Quincy Enunwa?
I don't think
or Quentin Johnston?
You can do...
I don't know what... Who the fuck has a Q?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. We're going to read it. We'll go through a few here. Yeah, most of them. Yeah, it's awful.
Either give me Quincy Enunwa because it's a shit. He's pretty shit.
No, we're gonna have to. We're gonna give you a new letter.
It.
Yeah, we're giving you. We're gonna remove Q and give you a new letter because it's like Teagan Quintriano at tight end, played for 2 years.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah. All right, you got letter P. Significantly better grade.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to go with Adrian Peterson at running back.
That's a great pick. Peterson at running back. Solid pick. You also could have gone any of the Palmers, Carson, Trey, or Josh. You could have went with, God, there are a lot. Donald Parham, tight end. Devontae Parker at wide receiver. There's a lot of P's. Micah Parsons, you already have your defender, though. I think AP is the right way. Good call.
Yeah, I felt like that one was pretty easy, too.
AP's the right call. We're spinning for me. Let's see if we get something good. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Letter M. Letter M. I'm going to go for my second wide receiver and take Randy Moss.
Who's your first receiver? I forgot.
Michael Irvin.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
You got a Y. You got a Y.
I have a QB and 2 receivers left. I feel like Steve Young is probably solid.
I feel like that's probably the best answer you're going to get for Y.
I'm trying to think of a receiver with Y, and I can't really do it. So yeah, let's go Steve Young QB.
That is, I think, a super wise choice.
I'll take that. I'm liking this.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Rolling
call.
out of Quincy Enunwa for Adrian Peterson was a solid play for me.
Yeah, that's a big upgrade.
Sometimes you trade down, Armchair. What do you got?
I got an F.
You got halfback left, tight end, defender.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I just need 2 receivers. What was your order? F?
F, yeah. I have a thought here, but I don't know if it's gonna. Do I go Marshall Faulk at running back here?
Oh yeah, probably.
I think that's the call.
That's probably a good.
He's only got 12,000 yards.
Rodgers, Falk, Moss, and Irvin is tough to beat. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
would give you the advantage right now, but ever so slightly.
That's a pretty solid, I think, pick. I still need a tight end. I still need a defender.
2 picks to go.
2 to go.
What letter?
You got a B.
A B. Okay. Isaac Bruce.
Oh, that's a
wide receiver.
Great pick.
And quick on the draw.
That one's an easy one. Had to be done.
That was a no doubter. A lot of mine have been no doubters. It's like, yeah, of course it's Isaac Bruce. Odell Beckham would have been acceptable.
All right, I think I'm gonna use my phone a friend on this one because there's only one player with it. I got the X, so we're gonna remove that. We're gonna remove that and redo
Get that out of there.
Yeah, I think there's
next time we do it, we'll take those out.
Yeah. This is the first. Like we're trying. It's something new.
Yeah, it's a trial. New segment alert.
I got S, and I feel like I have to go to defender, and I need to put Coach Prime, Deion
the 2
Sanders.
other, not Steve Young, Vince Young and Bryce Young got shout outs in our chat.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
We're going Deion Sanders for S as my defender, leaving me with only a tight end to pick.
Okay. See, Shadur got cited for going like 110 or some shit. 101, something like that. You think like a little humility.
So is your last letter?
Yeah, my last letter has to be a receiver.
Is letter D.
D.
Julian Dettelman.
Julian.
Actually, there is a great wide receiver. Donald Driver is probably a solid pick.
Donald Driver is a solid choice. I feel like there's got to be something else out there.
For receiver and letter D, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, that's a great one for defender because that's your Brian Dawkins.
I know. I was thinking Aaron Donald for defender.
Aaron Donald.
If I could have thought of a receiver with the fucking A in their name quicker. There's got to be, no Davis? Vernon Davis was a tight end.
He was a tight end. That doesn't count. I mean, it's David Daniels, played for a year in 91, 92.
Nah, fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly. It's not a lot.
There's got to be something else, dude. Donald Driver's really the only one I got here.
I'm going through. Look, I'm going through the list right now. I'm on Pro Football Reference for what it's worth. They organize all active and former players. by last name, which is interesting. But
That is interesting.
I'm looking for a wide receiver for you. It's a tough.
They're
one.
all tight ends, dude.
Ton of tight ends.
They're all tight ends.
Andre Davis.
My draft board is just fucking obliterated right now.
Yeah, you're getting killed here.
I'm getting Donald Driver or Gabe Davis is what it looks like, and I don't want either of them. Oh, armchair.
No one's got like a long career here at wide receiver.
I could take Tank Dell, but he's crippled and hasn't really done all that much. Donald Driver definitely did more.
I just think Driver's your answer here.
Nope. Mr. Boat Party himself. The Pink Pony Club, Stephon Diggs.
Oh, there it is. There it is. How we missed Diggy. Good call. Good call. I don't know why we. This is what happens when you put on the spot. It's tough.
D was tough. I was like, damn, what is? That was the only one I had to look up. I can't believe I didn't think of Diggs. Same thing as Gronk. I wasn't thinking Patriots the entire fucking time.
I need a tight end, and I did not pull a great letter.
What do you got?
I got W.
W. No, there's Kellen Winslow.
Yeah.
yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's
Delaney Walker.
Delaney Walker is kind of yeah. I like Delaney Walker better. He did have 36 touchdowns, so we're going Delaney Walker.
Okay,
we'll take Delaney Walker.
Good dude too.
I just don't know how else to round this out. The tight end is strictly for blocking. Let's just put that.
We'll throw it on socials, but let's just go through. We'll go through our own shit right now.
Yeah.
QBs. I have Steve Young. You have Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
I will give you the advantage there.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson for me. Marshall Faulk for you at halfback.
Yep.
Feel like AP's got a very ever so slight advantage.
Yes. Yep.
Wide receiver Isaac Bruce, number 1, and Randy Moss for you.
Yep.
And then Michael Irvin and Stephon Diggs. I think you have the advantage in both receiver spots.
Yeah, I think so.
Antonio Gates, and for me, Delaney Walker for you at tight end.
That's obviously on your
one
side.
To me.
Yep.
Yep. Defense, I've got Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah.
Which was a wild first pick.
Wild first pick.
Deion Sanders is your defender.
Yeah.
I will also give you the edge there. So I think you won this one.
It was a good time though. It's all right.
Yeah, I had fun.
It's a little. It's better than
Anybody's got topics. Send them in. We'll do them.
Give us different ways we can draft teams. I'm happy to do it. This is kind of the slow season for us. We're getting into baseball talk. Probably doing a little more power rankings.
The next 15 to 20 days decides my baseball for the rest of the year.
We're into baseball power rankings now.
We either tread water until Alex Bregman compared my years to getting death rolled by a crocodile or an alligator. I get dragged underwater and I'm miserable for a while and they're just beating the shit out of me and they just do things to me that they shouldn't. And then I get my head above water, they do something cool and I'm like, there's hope. Yeah. And then it's just right back underwater. And the most recent was, the losing streak. And then we brought up the kids and we're like, let's fucking go. And then they struggle and they bring me under, and then we swept the Yankees, swept the Rays, start getting hot. Let's fucking go. We're back. We're gonna break away from this crocodile. Then they traded Rafael Devers, and I'm just bleeding out.
Jim wants to know about torpedo bats.
Swamp.
Nobody cares.
They clearly didn't matter, right?
Didn't matter.
I think that topic for 2 days.
I think torpedo bats that's baseball's attempt at getting everyone to pay attention in the first few weeks of the season.
I didn't really get it to begin with because everybody has different bat things.
It's not new.
Dude, when we played the Cardinals on that Sunday Night Baseball, they're talking about Brendan Donovan's cup in the
in the
Bat.
top.
Like
Yeah.
his is a deeper cup than most bats, and that was like when his hitting started to go up a little bit. Guys have different preferences. Mookie is the axe handle on his
Yeah.
for the knob. Like,
Yep. It happens.
I don't know.
Why
Not a
don't you
big
give
deal
us?
to me.
Why don't you give us a stoned stories?
Let's do it. Going to Mobile, Alabama.
Ooh, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
You know that whoever committed this crime, when they got arrested, were like, "Officer, roll tide."
Let me see if I can. I'll post it on my Twitter, but let me see if I can just grab you a little snapshot real quick. This is what we got. Roll.
Oh yeah,
Roll Tide.
That guy, 100% said roll tide.
The half smirk at your mugshot is also fantastic.
That guy was drinking White Claws and saying "Roll Tide" to the officer when he was getting arrested.
I think he was drinking more than White Claws, brother. So this, like I said, Mobile, Alabama, just before midnight on a Wednesday. Not typically White Claw behavior. White Claw behavior is like, we'll have 2 or 3 and go to bed at a normal hour. Midnight on the roof of a gas station, a Murphy's gas station. That's liquor behavior and other substances and maybe some mental health just sprinkled on top there. They found 31-year-old Brett Kraft Jr. There was a first one. The apple fell from some tree. He somehow climbed on top of the gas station building, wielding a machete, as of course he was.
Mm-hmm.
Officers tried to get Kraft to get down, but they said he wouldn't budge. As I said that, I pictured Bob Kraft up there. Fresh off a Jupiter, Florida visit, he ends up over at Mobile, Alabama.
How do you think they tried to get that guy down? Get down
words.
Here. Get on
ineffective
down.
Words. Officers tried to get him down. He wouldn't budge. At that point, we knew there was a situation unfolding there that we would need some extra resources. I'm beanbagging him quick. I'm asking nicely a couple times, and then dink. Nothing crazy. I'm not gonna hit him with the billy club. I'm not gonna shoot him.
Have you considered a roll tide?
Yeah, have we tried to just like, do you want to come down here and talk Alabama football for a little bit, compare some stats, maybe talk about Saban, Bear Bryant?
You want to talk?
Just throw keywords at him.
Bear Bryant's the GOAT. Oh yeah, he is pretty good. Yeah, I'll be right down.
I got an autograph from Nick Saban down here. He's like, I got 5 of those. I don't care about that. You don't need more. Mobile fire rescue is called to the scene, as well as Alta Point mental health counselors. Probably the first call I would have made. Yep. Canines and the SWAT team. But Brown says those extra resources still did not convince Mr. Kraft to come down. He began threatening harm towards our officers, says Brown. Threatening officers not only verbally, but also with bodily harm. No shit, he's got a machete.
Yeah.
I feel like that in itself is a threat.
It's a pretty good threat.
There was a bottle of urine that the subject threw down onto firefighters as they arrived onto the scene, says Brown. I picture something like, cool off, douse this, something like that, as he chucks a trucker bomb down onto America's true heroes. Brown says at some point police did make it onto the roof. They decided to climb up there to potentially physically remove him from said roof. That resulted in a SWAT officer getting sent to the hospital. Not Brown. I picture, it doesn't really go into specifics, but that he broke his nose. So I'm assuming he was climbing up onto the roof. It's probably one guy. They're talking to him enough to be like, hey, I'm going to come up there. We'll hash this out. We'll be peaceful. And the second the guy got his face over the building, he just got falcon punched right down off the fucking roof. He's lucky he didn't get macheted. Storm coming, hatchet coming. After the incident, Kraft was transported to the hospital for evaluation. This article makes it seem like he punched the cop and was like, "Oh fuck, I went too far. I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna come down off the roof now." A strange incident, says Brown. I hope it doesn't happen again. We're just glad he was able to come down on his own and it was able to end peacefully. That's a wild.
How much Family Guy does that guy watch? Like, this guy kind of sounds like the guy.
It's not none.
This guy is the guy that quotes Family Guy at you, right? Like,
yeah, this is probably. This is from that episode.
Yeah.
He also thinks it's real.
Yeah, he's like, I'm waiting for my chicken fight. I'm gonna fight a big chicken. I'm ready. I'll do it. That's what he
I
thought. He thought this is my chicken fight, and he punched the officer
I
and
can't
said, "Roll
imagine he
Tide."
was up there long enough that a piss bottle was necessary. I feel like he brought that with him, equipped to like some sort of tool belt, like machete, bottle of piss, M&Ms, something else. I don't know.
You got to make sure your blood sugar's good. You got to have like your juice, your M&Ms, and then like just your regular old normal weaponry, machete and piss bottle. This is how our forefathers won the Civil War.
I came into battle with nothing but a piss bottle. Oh,
Yeah.
your headset's going crazy again.
Oh, we're good.
Came in there nothing with a piss bottle and a machete.
I love
it. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
I think it was a Crimson Tide like engraved machete. That's probably high class. That's like a all-time gift for this guy.
Yeah, like that was like a Father's Day gift in like 1998. Like to his dad. Like that's all. This is all I imagine. It's horrible, but it is what
there's a 13-year age difference.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. That's it for us this week. I feel like trash, so I'm going to go take some medication and drink a whole bunch of water and then recover. Dub's been streaming. Go check him out at Stone Sports Podcast.
Actually, I have not been streaming as much as I would like to be, but I need to start again.
More Splitgate.
I am.
I can't wait.
Pirates.
I need you to play some auto body or car dealer simulator. Where you
shout out Boy on Twitch. That's all him.
Yeah,
he's doing shit like that.
That's a good time. That's a good time. Half ounce, half hour this week, maybe.
Hopefully, that's on fucking Mark and Josh. They told me yes last week and then no showed me, so gonna have to have some words.
That's fucking rude.
Yeah.
No, doesn't no show.
We don't. Rude.
We don't no show.
We're here
every week.
Flu game and all.
Yeah, we do it.
I've had like 4 flu games on this show. I happen to get sick on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's right in the middle of the week when I'm sick of everybody's shit. It just affects my body.
For Dubs, I'm Armchair. We'll see you next week here on Great North Sports.